calculations are correct, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
The Future Fan 95 with my first review. I'll be reviewing the Back to the Future, the first one. I'll be reviewing the Back to the Future trilogy along with my Friday the 13th series review. Now what could be said that hasn't already been said before? Literally everybody has been have already reviewed this movie before me. So so I just thought I'd do my own review of Back to the Future. So I'll start with the premise that most of you have already know. 17-year-old Marty McFly, living in the fictional town of Hill Valley along with his dilapidated family, his girlfriend Jennifer, and his eccentric friend Dr. Emmett Brown. One day in the morning of October 26, 1985, Marty visits his friend Doc's house finds that he is not there. Doc calls Marty, letting him know that all the clocks are 25 minutes slow and that it is really 8:25. Marty, with his skateboard and late for school, rushes over there with his girlfriend Jennifer waiting for him to warn him about Principal Strickland. Strickland finds him and scolds him about being a slacker. Yeah, a slacker. Okay. Marty then goes to audition with his band, but is rejected for being too loud. Marty goes home to find that the family car is wrecked. This is where we meet George McFly, a 37-year-old nerd with confidence issues, and Biff Tannen, a 38-year-old arrogant bully who torments George. We then meet George's wife and Marty's mom, Lorraine, who is a prudish alcoholic, and Marty's two siblings. They all proceed to have dinner together. After dinner, when everybody's asleep, Doc calls Marty to remind him to meet him at the Twin Pines Mall and to bring his video camera. Marty goes there and Doc shows him the time machine he met out of a DeLorean. Doc then conducts his first experiment with his dog Einstein. While Doc is explaining the machine, he tells Marty about how he first came up with the idea of the flux capacitor, which makes time travel possible. Then all of a sudden a group of Libyans show up and gun Doc down. Marty manages to get away, leading to a small car chase around the parking lot of the Twin Pines Mall. Marty then accidentally travels back to November 5th, 1955, which is the time that Doc put in the time circuits as an example date. The DeLorean then runs out of its remaining plutonium, trapping Marty in the past. He then walks into the 1950s Hill Valley and finds his now teenage dad still being tormented by a now teenage Biff. Marty follows George and is hit by a car meant for George. This causes teenage Lorraine to fall in love with Marty instead of George. Marty then goes out to find Doc. Marty eventually finds him and gets him to believe him about time traveling back to 1955. Doc then tells Marty the only way to get back to the future is to have a power source equaling 1.21 gigawatts of energy. They then must harness this lightning strike, which will strike the clock tower at 10:04 p.m. next Saturday night to send Marty back home. The rest of the movie, Marty and Doc must get Marty back to the future while also trying to get George and Lorraine together to ensure his future existence. This is a classic movie, man. I remember when I first saw this movie 6 years ago. It really sparked my imagination as a kid. I mean, not believing in time travel and stuff, but, you know. This movie has really made a significant impact on my life, and I've liked it ever since. This film really holds up today, even 30 years after its original release. The relationship and chemistry between Doc and Marty is really great and believable. It carries the whole story between these two. That the other actors are really good as well, especially Thomas F. Wilson, who plays Biff, and Leah Thompson, who plays Lorraine, and Crispin Glover as George. The plot is really great as well. It starts off with a slow burn during the first 15 minutes of the movie, but the rest of the movie is very fast paced, and there are scenes that still get to me, especially the clock tower ending scene. I will not spoil it in case if you haven't seen the movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a timeless masterpiece and it's my number one favorite movie. Hence the name of my channel. I will give my overall rating at the end. I will be filming my Friday the 13th reviews back to back with my Back to the Future Trilogy reviews. I have done this particular review to start my channel. Please comment and subscribe. This has been Back to the Future Fan 95 signing off.